Okay, I'm back again. In this video, I'm going to talk about righteous judgment and judging fruits. Excuse me. So, the other day I was on YouTube and I've seen videos. In fact, not just the other day, just I've seen more videos, several videos similar to this one, which I never actually watched. I've seen a YouTube video called, titled something along the lines of Lauren Daigle endorses Lucifer worship. And yes, that's what it actually said. It said Lucifer. It said Lucifer worshipper Billie, is it Eilish? I think it's pronounced Eilish, whatever her last name is. Now, I don't know either of their personal lifestyles, although I'm pretty certain that Billie Eilish is not saved. Although I'm not sure if I go as far as call her a Satanist. Like, it is possible to worship the devil without actually realizing it or meaning to. So, even if her songs do have demonic lyrics, that doesn't necessarily mean that she's intentionally worshipped the devil. She might not understand the power of songs and words and all that stuff. But that's not the point. The point is not Billie Eilish and whether or not Billie Eilish is a Lucifer worshipper. By the way, if you want to go by identity, it is my personal belief that Lucifer is Satan's original name, and as soon as he went against God, he went from Lucifer to Satan. The name Lucifer only appears once in the Bible. Once. And it talks about, and it's describing Satan pre-fallen. The rest of the time, the devil is referred to as the devil or Satan. I believe in Revelations refers to him as a dragon. Let's see what else. Let's see, the enemy. Basically, the word Lucifer only appears once in the Bible. So, that is why I believe that Satan is the devil's new identity. He is no longer Lucifer. He was Lucifer originally, but when he betrayed God, he became Satan. So, yeah, there you go. Think of it as the same way that there are some celebrities that changed their name. Like, for instance, Miley Ray Cyrus. Her original name is Destiny Hope Cyrus. But she changed it. Let's see, I don't exactly remember how long ago it was. Although I'm pretty certain that it was before she was 18. And she might have had to use her parents' signature or something to do it. Or something along the lines. I believe it's been years. I know that. Many years. More than 10 years, I know that for certain. Especially since Miley Cyrus will be 28 this year. So, the same way that Miley Cyrus' original name was Destiny Hope Cyrus, you don't see anybody calling her Destiny Hope Cyrus. She is Miley Cyrus. Nobody even calls her Miley Ray Cyrus. It's Miley Cyrus. So, anyways, that is kind of my issue with referring to Satan as Lucifer, because the devil was no longer Lucifer. The devil was Lucifer when he was still with God, when he was, the name Lucifer means, we can look into that, morning star, and the name Satan means adversary. So, yeah. But that's not the point of this video. Excuse me. Had a lot of soda today. Anyways. And Lord Dakota, I see her get attacked a lot too by lots of Christians. Apparently, if you don't mention Jesus enough times or at all during an interview or something, you are not a true Christian according to some people. The problem is, that's legalism. A lot of the people that I see get accused of being false Christians or false prophets or something, are false prophets on the grounds of legalism, legalistic reasons. In other words, it is their opinion, because somebody's opinion that so and so isn't that so and so is has to look like this, you have to do that. Like for instance, somebody might be so legalistic that they don't believe that a true Christian would have a dirt devil vacuum cleaner. Oh, a dirt devil vacuum cleaner would make you a Satanist. And you can't eat devil's food cake either, because that makes you a Satanist. Some people might actually be that crazy. They might prove that so-and-so isn't a true Christian. Picture of them eating, or a video of them eating devil's food cake. And then many of them would quote, "You will know them by their fruit," to justify it. And really, a lot of times, and by the way, I didn't actually watch that video. I went to it, posted a comment. I didn't want to participate because I believe that kind of video actually spreads gossip. Didn't watch it. Didn't want to participate in gossip because I don't care what that says. That's not even the point. Now, here's the thing. Here's the problem with judging people, with judgment, and looking at fruits. Now, Jesus said, "Judge not, lest you be judged," in Matthew 7:1. Okay? Then you go to about verse 5. In fact, you read the first 5 verses of Matthew 7. What that is clearly talking about is hypocritical judgment. And maybe even looking at people with a judgmental attitude. Possibly. And what that is talking about is, in verse 5, it's talking about, it seems to be talking about, fixing your own problem, dealing with your own problem, your own issue, which apparently is even bigger than your own issue, which is even bigger than this other person's issue. Before dealing, and then helping that other person overcome their issue, and so here's the thing: you want to help the person overcome their sin, but before you do that, you must deal with your own stuff, your own issues that you are dealing with. And then, fast forward to about verse 15-16 in Matthew 7, talking about wolves and sheep's clothing, false prophets, you will know them by their fruits. Excuse me. Now, here's the thing. How can you distinguish a false... How do you distinguish between bad fruits and accidentally falling into sin? How do you distinguish that? Answer: you would probably need the spiritual gift of discernment. Okay? And if you use discernment, what is the purpose of that? To help the person overcome their sin. You do not need to make a YouTube video spreading gossip about it over the internet. And yes, that is exactly what those are. That it spreads gossip, animosity, hatred, what else? Bitterness, See, Lauren Daigle gets judged a lot. Even for something that she said a couple of years ago. People are still hung up on the fact that she didn't publicly deny homosexuality. I've seen that interview, and when she was asked that, she said that she didn't know, and if I remember correct, she also said to look it up, read it. Something along the lines of that. Looking it up and see for yourself. Now, the only way a Christian would not know whether or not the Bible was against homosexuality is if they only read the King James Bible and did not do much of a Bible study on the topic. Because the King James Bible does not have the word homosexual in it. Because it was written before the word homosexual was it coined, invented? Well, whichever it was. It's been out, the King James Version Bible has been out longer than the word homosexual. Therefore, it does not appear in that Bible. And some people grew up on King James Bible, and they probably have no idea what abusers of themselves with mankind means. It probably has no idea. Like, you read that, like, what's that? Is that someone who physically abuses? Is that talking about masochists? Are they abusing them? Are they physically abusing other people, their family members? I mean, what are they doing? What does that mean? See, if you only read the King James Bible and you don't do much of a Bible study on it, you are likely not going to know what. You are likely not going to know that homosexuality is a sin. And I would rather her say, Lauren Daigle say, I don't know, than to that question, yes it is. No, excuse me. The question is whether or not it's a sin. So I'd rather, I don't know. I prefer an I don't know than no it's not. She never endorsed it. She said, I don't know. And she said something on the lines of looking it up. And if people looked it up, they would say, yes it is. If they did proper research on it. And even if she did give into pressure, we all have moments of weakness. And that's another thing. People confuse moments of weakness for bad fruit. And they see videos. And when it comes to celebrities, famous people, famous Christians, famous pastors, their moments of weakness are caught on video. And when they're looking at moments of weakness, and we mistake them for bad fruit, and we look at those people as false prophets. They're not really Christians, and yet we don't watch their sermons. We don't see how they normally act, what they normally do. If you want to look at them by the fruits, like what you say you're doing, then you would know them by the fruit. You have to look at everything they're doing. What is their normal behavior? How do they normally act? What do they normally say? Etc., etc. Stuff like that. We cannot look at mistakes, weaknesses of the flesh, failures, and call them fruits, and accuse them, and then look at them as bad fruits. This doesn't make any sense. And even Galatians 6:1 talks about Christians falling into sin. And it says to help them overcome their sin, to help them with it, restore them. That which I believe was talking about helping them overcome their sin. In Galatians 6:1. But what do I see instead? I'm seeing YouTube videos. I've seen people post YouTube videos talking about all these supposedly negative Christian artists, preachers. I see people talking about Lauren Daigle, Hillsong, Elevation Worship, Lecrae, and a few pastors. And really, we're looking at the wrong thing, and we're calling it fruit. There is almost no way, without discernment from God, to distinguish from fruit and moments of weakness. You cannot distinguish between a moment of weakness and what's a bad fruit. See, fruit is something continual, and it happens on a normal, regular basis. You have to look for a pattern. If it doesn't happen very often, maybe. And we also have to look at what is the person's reaction. Are they struggling with it? Because sin can become a stronghold. It is bondage, really. Jesus himself describes sin as bondage. And once a sin gets a hold of you, you can struggle with it for a while and have moments of weakness. And if those moments of weakness was ever caught on video, and if you were famous, somebody could accuse you of being a false Christian. While quoting Matthew 7:16, you would know them by their fruit. And really, that's not even the fruit. That's a weakness. That's a moment of weakness. See, we should stop looking at the fruit of other people because we do not know their intent. You end up. That is a very judgmental. People are using Matthew 7:16 to justify a judgmental, self-righteous attitude. Oh, I call them out as I see them. One thing, you're looking at, a 10-minute clip, maybe not even that long, and you think you know, you think you're looking at fruit from a 10-minute clip, maybe not even that long, or even a half-an-hour clip, a short portion of their day, when you don't see the person all the time. You think you're looking at fruit? Stop looking at fruit. Stop trying to judge fruit. That's between them and God. And if somebody is able to discern between a moment of weakness and whether or not the person is sin, like whether or not it was willful sin, then it is for the purpose of maybe helping that person overcome, or to pray for that person, or something to that effect. You don't make a YouTube video trying to expose them. That's not what you do. And whatever the intent is, making a YouTube video like that, it's spreading gossip. And that is not Christ-like. It is spreading gossip, judgment, hate. That's right, hate. You see these people talking down. I see people talking down, talking bad. But but I don't see anybody. Talking about these people. I see them going in the bad direction. I see them heading in the darkness, and we need to pray for them so that they may be headed in the right direction. I don't see anybody saying that. I see people talking about them, spreading gossip. Let's see, this video is... Well... that's it for this video. Now to keep it short. Well, I mean, not short, it's almost 20 minutes long. So, I'm gonna have to end it here. So, yeah.